Hello everyone, welcome back to Rover Mechanic Simulator. I'm Afro Luigi and we're going to jump straight into it because I want to work more on perseverance. Oh. Right, perseverance. Quest, right, here we go. Hey, you did a great job previously, but I'm afraid I have bad news for you. We've sent the rover back and there are still problems with the photo quality. Sorry for telling you so late. We tried to find the faulty part ourselves, but no luck on that. However, the good news are that the color wheel is working correctly. Maybe it's something of a more electrical nature. I checked the circuit boards. They literally failed just after they left the shop, I bet. Alright, let's survey the damage. Okay, it's the mast again. I do want to have a look underneath it this time, though. As I said, electrical, and there's electrical components underneath. So let's have a look and see if there's anything broken down here. You know the nice thing about Mars? It's that it's dusty, but it's not wet. Like, if I was to lift my car up on a hoist like this and look underneath it, I can guarantee you there'd be so much mud down there. Speaking of which, I should wash my car and vacuum it. So much dust and dirt in there. There we go. Mastcam Electronics. And I did not take the mast down. So let's do that. I did not check the Underside Electronics last. Actually, was that the same episode where I lifted up and looked underneath? I don't think. Not the same episode, but the same quest. I don't think it was, actually. Yeah, I don't understand why we have to take this one off first before we can get at the other camera. Okay, that thing's fine. This is the damaged camera, right? Yes, it is. Let's see. Because the circuit board is fine. What's the interior damage? Oh boy, all the little screws. I'm so glad I upgraded my screw removal as much as I did. Can you imagine doing this without those upgrades? Oh, there's a little thing in there, isn't there? Very deep inside. That thing I took off just behind the color wheel. Yep, it's that little guy down there. Now, is that guy something I can work on? I doubt it. It's really tiny. It is not something I can work on. So, let's start printing parts. So, first things... Right, I did not take the Mastcam Z CCD. Mastcam Z CCD. We also need the Mastcam Z Electronics. Yeah, that's all from the last episode. That part we can actually wait for. We don't need that right away. We're just going to start putting the mast back together. Before I forget, actually, I'm going to put that back cover on. Because I know I'm going to have to backtrack late. Go back into this little edit repair thing before if I wasn't to do it now. I have to go back in to do it. This part actually kind of does look like an actual camera with the zoom and everything. That's something I don't like about cell phones, is, especially with people using them as cameras. It doesn't look like you're using a camera. Like, I actually do own a physical camera with lenses that can change. I just don't very often go places where I need it. Alright, let's stick it back on the mast. Yeah, I don't know why it really doesn't make sense to me that we have to do this in a specific order. That just seems odd because there's so much extra space up here for that they could be using. Because it looks like, well, they have them clipping here, but it does look like the only reason is because of these the way the wires are laid out here. But that just seems like bad planning. You figure you'd want them spread out a little bit more. What are these things here? Next time I have the mast off, I should have a look at that. Can I fit through here? No, I cannot. Oh, helps if I oh, I did grab the part. Oh, helps if I put the bottom cover on as well. Alright, that's done. I muted and just decided to time-lapse it because I started coughing the moment I went to work under the Rover, so I'm like, I'm just going to keep the mic mic'd and time-lapse. So, complete. Accept. Alright, we definitely have time for more. Oh boy, lots of expensive jobs here. QM05-GE Perseverance. Hey, are you there? We really need your help as soon as possible. We were told by the staff sergeant to get the rover to base, but we wanted to collect all of the samples. It got really cold and, well, now all of the mass sensors had gone wild. The readings are off the charts. Please fix it for us or we're screwed. Sure. I'll help. I'll help out. I'll even do a rush job. Well, not a rush job. I'll fix everything, but not gonna take my sweet time doing it. So, yeah, they broke the mast. Remote sensing mast. I'm gonna read these though. The head and neck of Perseverance. Meter high construction above rover body and mounting plates for various science instruments such as SuperCam, Mastcam Zs, Navcams, and most of Meta suite instruments. Construction is similar to MSL's mast and is using the same actuators, mechanisms, flex cables, and has the same remote warm electronics block. However, the structure was slightly modified to include new Meta instruments. So let us get this mast off and see exact amount of damage. Hey, we'll be able to figure out what those little cage things are. Is there definitely some sort of sensor? Alright, damage. How do we get this thing off? Oh, that has to come. Oh boy. Alright, this thing you gotta have all these awkward things on the back to take off. We gotta check what that sensor was. Alright, that's done. Let's check what these little square things are first. Measurement. Measurement range of 150 to 300K. Okay, well, minus 123 to 27 Kelvin with accuracy of 5K and a resolution of 0.1K. Oh, so they're just temperatures. Okay. Thermometers. Wind sensors are busted. Alright, good thing I looked at the back here because of these things. That looks like another wind sensor. There we go. That should be everything. Time to start printing. Warehouse. I keep forgetting to drop off my old parts. So we need a mast. Oh, it's just a microphone. Okay. Mast microphone followed by wind sensor A. Wind sensor Nahava. Probably pronouncing that wrong because for me that's not an English word, so the J would make a what English would be an H sound, I think. Depends on what language of origin this is. Relatively humidity sensor. And air temperature sensor. Could be Navaja. No, Navaja doesn't seem right. Nahava seems like it would make the most sense for how that word would be pronounced, at least to me. So the wind sensor, yeah. Using 6 two-dimensional anchors on each boom. And then we just need the last of these temperature gauges. Well, at least that for the bottom, that's all we need. Next, we need to go stick the microphone in. I love it's called a super cam. Not sure why they need a super cam. It should just be like a regular camera should just Should still be a camera. Like, I don't call my Pentax a super camera compared to like a cell camera. I call it a real camera. That's just because, I mean, elitist, I guess would be the best way to word that. Alright, I think that's all we have to do for this guy. Perfect. What's QMO6-NE-R want? Hey, you really saved us last time. This time it's going to be easy. After the last mission, Rover got a bit dirty. It would be great if you could clean it for us. Thanks a lot. Oh, boy. You know, I don't mind. I was excited to dust in the last episode, but now I'm not. Now that they're making me do it, I don't want to do it. Alright, time to do some dusting. I wonder what JTL stands for. It was just written above this guy here. Just up here. There, right there. Right there. This is the first thing I dusted, and they want me to dust it again, of course. Yeah, some of the camera choices here are questionable. Now, where's this intake sensor that needs to be dusted? I wonder if it's going to tell me. Maybe it's on top? No, I think I have to go to the bottom of this one. Unless I grabbed it already. Yeah, the inlet filter, which I do not have. And something is telling me the inlet filter is on the inside. Because I'm not seeing it on the outside. Actually, it could just be in here. Let's have a look around. They're gonna make me go hunting for the inlet filter. It makes sense that the inlet filter would go to this section, not that section, though, now that I'm thinking about it. Because it's letting it. The inlet filter's purpose is probably to let air in for cooling purposes. Okay. I was wrong. I do not see it. It's a radar there. Let's try and find this inlet filter. I don't know how much of this thing I'm going to have to take apart, so I'm going to time-lapse through this part. Well, I found it. It's right there. It's the inlet filter cover. The reason I couldn't find it is because it was on the inside of something. So if we take this out, we should just be able to pull the filter right outside that. Would you look at that? The inlet filter. And it just pulls right out. Interesting. I take those parts out and they just... Oh. Okay. So yeah, I gotta disassemble this thing and dust the individual components. Yeah, this is going to take a while, so I'm just going to time-lapse through disassembling this thing unless I find something interesting to read. And we will be back. Actually, let's see. We don't actually have that much left to disassemble. Oh boy. Oops. And the L-cam. Okay, that one was kind of pointless. Alright, let's start dusting. There we go. Oh, that one's reflecting the warehouse. That is cool. Can't see ourselves, though. Yeah, it's like basically we're basically dusting a little mirror. I'm going to take some of these units apart, ain't I? That one looks like it's badly damaged. So let's do some analyzing on what we have in the warehouse. Yeah, would you look at that? A couple of these parts need to be replaced. So let's replace them. Warehouse. It's, those are from the last job because I still haven't recycled them. So we need front has-cam camera. And we need the rear has-cam cover. And we need the L-cam lens. Now, those three parts we should be able to repair everything and get this thing back on its feet. At least they didn't break anything this time. Well, the dust probably destroyed those few parts that I'm replacing. There. Wow, it's even reflecting when it's part of the when it's reattached to the set. That is cool, and the angle changes. Holy, that is a nice touch. I love the reflections. And it's still reflecting even with the cover on. Wow. So that should be it for repairing these units. Yep. So now I'm going to time-lapse my way through replacing everything because I took out way more than I needed. Alright, as we can see by this little calibrate remote, the configurer thing, we have finished at putting everything back on, and we're just going to hit this calibrate button. Wait a minute. Why is there an inventory page there? Oh, for inventory of parts, right. Never mind. Complete order. Perfect. Everything's fixed. Ooh, do we get a new upgrade? No. And before I forget again, let's do this. That should empty out my warehouse except for those things. Perfect. So, that's it for this episode. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.